Hola amigos, this is level 12 and today I've decided to explain why I ship RusPrus and RusLiet. I know these two ships are highly controversial for very good reasons. I'm not dumb. Thus, I feel like I should probably explain why I ship them so people understand where I'm coming from. Also, if my voice sounds monotone or I stutter more than usual, it is because I'm reading from a script, because I really don't want to mince my words here, because I'm a little bit afraid about talking about this because I know these are probably the two most hated ships, and you know, mincing words is not good when you're talking about stuff like this. So, I think the easiest one to explain first is RusLiet. So RusLiet is disliked because it is blatantly abusive. Like it isn't even a theory because Lithuania has scars from Russia beating him, as you can clearly see. I can't ignore that, and I'm not here to justify it. Abuse isn't good. Like it's not something that should be romanticized. However, in my defense, as weak as it is, I didn't realize Russia was as abusive as he was until after I started to ship RusLiet, which again isn't a good excuse, but by then the damage was done, so I knew I had to modify how I looked at the ship, so the ship just kind of modified itself to where I headcanon that Lithuania could help Russia or something, because Russia has clearly his own mental issues. But also, I like the idea of Lithuania overcoming his abuse with Russia and escaping with the other Baltics, or only being with Russia to protect Estonia and Latvia. And listen, I know, like, Lithuania is a doormat, and that's not, his personality is not to be the hero, like America or whatever. But when he was a child, he was kind of strong and a leader, and I think he could, I'm pretty sure he still has those qualities about him. He's just turned more into a doormat, which is a problem, because that like throws out the window pretty much this entire ship, and I know I have to bend it a little bit to make this ship work, and maybe I'm not shipping it for the right reasons, but it's whatever. I understand the ship can never be the lovey-dovey thing other ships have, such as Germany and Italy. I never think of it that way because you just can't without like clearly ignoring the canon. There are just layers, and some of them I can't fully get into without getting too personal. The easiest way I can explain it is that I find comfort in coping in the abuse factor of these relationships. I have a problem with liking abusive relationships, and I cannot tell you why. Real life, no, but anime, yes, it's a problem a little, but it's fine. So, real quick, I would like to take a moment to apologize for something I said in a video made like 2 years ago. This is like my most popular video. It's a kind of a problem. Little 15-year-old me was like, oh yeah, Russia and Lithuania have a sadomasochist relationship. Wrong. That is wrong and grossly misrepresents BDSM relationships in the BDSM community. I just thought I'd clarify. I no longer think that. 15-year-old me was kind of dumb. We're fine. Now is for explaining RusPrus, the harder demon. This one is not exactly abusive in the same way as RusLiet, but it is still highly toxic. See, Russia and Prussia have fought each other for years. Prussia was Russia's bully, and then the Berlin Wall happened. It is toxic and vile, and the pure hate they have for each other is quite astounding. Like, Prussia coughs up blood whenever he sees Russia. Clearly not a good dynamic there. However, we love that word, however. I tend to see beyond that little scope of things, because Prussia and Russia are two of the most developed characters in the series, mentally wise, because they both have, like, their own problems. There is a lot to draw from when writing fanfiction or role-playing. By the way, a lot of my experience comes from role-play than fanfiction, so just so you know. I main Prussia. Prussia's the main character I would roleplay, so I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on Prussia's character. So, what about Prussia's character? So, Prussia has this really tough exterior because he is the awesome Prussia. He has an ego complex. But on the inside, he's kind of weak, he's a little bit scared, and he has anxiety. Now, it's not huge. It's not like his ego and his personality is a complete mask for the anxiety he feels. No, he definitely has an ego complex. I'm just saying. These doubts and fears that are hidden by his cool guy persona are either forgotten about entirely or played upon so much they don't resemble Prussia at all. Like, you either make Prussia this sobbing, sad stoner guy, which I've done before, which is not accurate, or you make him this big ego junkie, which is annoying and kind of accurate, but not the most, because Prussia isn't one-dimensional. He's probably, again, the most developed character in this series. My favorite way to play / read Prussia is striking the balance between the cool guy persona and that inner shell. And the best way to do so is to foil him with Russia, who doesn't know boundaries. I feel like most characters, when they saw they were stepping beyond some kind of cool guy boundary, they would stop. But Russia does not. Russia is psychologically messed up. No doubt about it. He doesn't understand his abuse towards others and often comes off scary when he's trying to make friends. Violence has worked for him in the past, so he obviously turns to violence to solve his current problems, like, not old Fritz, but General Winter would, like, that was how General Winter trained Russia, was to be violent. So, obviously, not to mention, Prussia was one of his main abusers as a child, so it would only make sense that Russia has a vendetta against Prussia. This vendetta could then be used against Prussia. Now, do I think Russia is smart enough to come to that conclusion and that logic? No. Obviously not. His brain is pretty childish, so I'm pretty sure he thinks in childish reasoning that he can just be friends with everyone and it's fine. He may stumble upon it by accident, but I don't think it's ever going to be his go-to. Like, Russia just isn't there mentally to come up with that. Instead, Russia just kind of keeps on forcing his aura on Prussia. Physical abuse, mental abuse, etc. as Prussia fights back against it, like most nations fight against Russia in a more powerful way than Lithuania. However, I've always thought that because Prussia internally has already this kind of broken or weak persona, he is likely to crack under pressure. Not 100%, but there's a chance he could. He then could possibly succumb to Russia's will in a way. At least that's how a lot of roleplays I've done have come out, and a few fan fictions as well. Now, obviously, this isn't the only way this can play out, but the abuse and the drama brings me a strange sort of comfort. As a coping mechanism, via these characters, I can explore a volatile relationship built upon manipulation and abuse. Again, these kind of mind-bending relationship dynamics have always interested me, and I cannot tell you why. I just don't know. I like to see a train wreck happen, I guess. You know, that effect where you see like a car crash and you just kind of can't look away. That's how I feel, and it's very strange. And I get it if y'all think I'm weird for that, and it's fine. We all have our things we project onto characters. So I hope you guys like this video. Again, very nervous. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but never got around to doing it because I knew there would be a lot to explain, and even now I feel like I've only scratched the surface of these two ships because I feel like there's so much more I could talk about, but it's fine. Please be respectful in the comments, by the way. I know that if there's one thing the Italian community pretty much agrees on is that these two are bad ships, and, like, that's fine. You can think that. I understand if you, like, absolutely despise these two ships. Like, I get it. But please just be respectful in the comments. I don't want to have to moderate too much because I barely moderate my comments as it is. So long as you don't curse or use slurs, your comment I don't remove comments that often. It's just, please be respectful. I am under a lot of stress right now, and having a bunch of spam would not be great. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more random fandom things. Ciao, Chico.